In 1932, at the end of the season, there was no official championship game in the NFL at that particular time. The two teams with the best records were the Chicago Bears, who were 6-1-6, and the Portland Spartans, who were 6-1-4. No one knew who was going to really be the champion, so George Halas had this great idea to have a championship game between the two teams. So it was agreed upon by the league, and both teams were scheduled to play the championship game in Wrigley Field.
On December 18th, the NFL's first ever playoff game featured the mighty Chicago Bears, led by their dynamic backfield of Red Grange and Bronco Nagurski, against the small-town Portsmouth Spartans, led by their star halfback, Len Presnell.
We went into Chicago to play the game off, and they'd had a tremendous snowstorm there. Wrigley Field was unplayable.
The game was moved indoors into Chicago Stadium, where the capacity crowd of 11,000 couldn't get used to the unique playing conditions.
The field was not your ideal field. Remember the odor, because there had been a circus in the Chicago Stadium the previous week.
One of our players got sick of his stomach and threw up. Oh, it was bad. We had had a couple of nips the night before, and that smell was too good either. I could hardly get my head in the huddle.
And so we played the game indoors under restricted conditions. The field was 60 yards long, eliminated field goals, and moved the ball in from the sideline, which was a board fence they'd had there for the ice hockey games.
Because of the confined field, the game became a defensive battle with a 0-0 score well into the fourth quarter. But Bears fullback Bronco Nagurski teamed with the Galloping Ghost to score the game's only touchdown.
Bronk threw the touchdown pass to me. I was laying on my back in the end zone, and Bronk threw me an end-over-end pass. That was his best pass.
They complained, of course, they claimed it was illegal, but Nagurski claims he backed up far enough that he was 5 yards back.
He wasn't anywhere near 5 yards back of the line of scrimmage, which was a rule in those days. You had to be back 5 yards. They won the game 9-0. It was an interesting game.
The indoor game did more than crown a champion. It helped the NFL notice its severe problems.
The NFL had to open up. They had to get more scoring, more excitement. They still were not drawing anywhere near what the college football teams were.
At the league meetings in 1933, the owners made decisions that changed pro football forever.
The major rules changes were opening up the passing game. They did away with the rule that you had to be 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They brought in the hash marks. They moved the goalposts up to help field goal kicking. And one of the really most important things is they divided the league into two divisions with a fully official championship game scheduled for the end of the season.
And it worked. The two best teams, the New York Giants and Chicago Bears, met in the NFL's first championship game. Pro football now had its World Series. Wrigley Field hosted the game, which was getting national exposure.
I do remember listening to it on the radio.
Bears ball on their own 12-yard line. Nagurski carried it.
Because the lead changed so many times. The Giants would score, the Bears would score. Just kept going back and forth.
Early in the game, Giants quarterback Harry Newman suggested a trick play he learned from his nieces, a play that became known as the Hine Special.
Mel Hine was the center. All the men went on one side of Mel Hine. That left Mel Hine open for a pass, because the ends were passed, so he became an end.
Newman took the snap from center, handed it right back to Hine, then turned around and fell down as though covering a fumble.
Musso piled on me, and he looked at me, he says, "Where's the ball?" He said, I told him I'd show him some more card tricks.
Mel Hine stuck the ball under his shirt and started walking down the field.
He thought he'd be walking yet, except he got excited and started to run.
Keith Molesworth, who was a defensive halfback for the Bears, said, "I thought something was strange." He said, "It looked like Mel Hine was pregnant." He said, "I wouldn't have done anything if he hadn't started to run. When he started to run, I just automatically tackled him."
The game was becoming a wide-open affair that pro football had not seen, with over 600 yards of offense.
Pass is intercepted by Brambaugh of the Bears.
The game had 6 lead changes, a world championship game record that still stands.
And it's complete to Clark for touchdown.
The Bears won the landmark game 23-21.
I still say it was the greatest football game that I ever saw or ever participated in.
The two teams not only made history that day, they also made some extra money.
We received $210.34, and that 34 cents was very important in those days, too, believe me. And the Giants received, I believe it was $170.
13 Hall of Famers participated in that first championship game, faces that helped shape the National Football League.
That game went all over the country, and that really was the beginning of the popularity of pro football.